What does a company need to do to improve revenue? Joining us now is Bob Derrington, the Senior Research Analyst at Telsey Advisory Group. Bob, great to have you with us.
Yeah, thanks, Melissa.
I heard a lot of excuses on that call, but what concerned me the most and what concerned a lot of people on the street is that they cited the problem still with mobile ordering and slower overall customer service. Have they said anything that makes you believe the worst is behind them on those two fronts?
What they said about the mobile order, mobile pay is that they're making progress clearly at improving those 1,200 plus restaurants that have been negatively affected this past quarter. There's no doubt that when you've got people who are grumpy coming in for their first cup of the day, who are in a hurry to get to the office, if they don't get taken care of expeditiously, you're going to have some complaints. And it certainly hurt them last quarter. They've made progress on that. They're not quite positive yet, but they're making substantial improvement from where the trends had been. So clearly, they're making good inroads at taking care of their customers.
Kevin Johnson, the incoming CEO, said that he is confident that the company has turned a corner, that the sales numbers picked up later in the quarter. Is that what you've seen, according to your own research and channel checks?
Yes. There's no doubt that they jump-started the April period. The unicorn Frappuccino has been amazing.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No.
That's my first reaction.
What is
Nothing
it
short
called
of
again, Bob? A unicorn Frappuccino?
It's this big, pink, frothy. Dom Chu
like
gets them every day.
color.
Dominic Chu honestly gets one of these things every day.
They have a dragon Frappuccino now coming out.
It's like if Fruity Pebbles and coffee had a baby.
Oh, my goodness.
A stomach ache in a cup.
They know their consumer. And I'll tell you, there is a buzz when you bring a product like that to market that, this company...
Oh, I know there's a lot of buzz at Starbucks, I tell you.
Well,
I get it every time.
That aside, but, if you look at the breadth of the consumer who uses the brand, your needs in mind relative to my 19-year-old daughter and 21-year-old son are very different. They are catering to a very broad swath. The unicorn Frappuccino is not catering to you and I, but to my 19-year-old daughter, she's in there in a heartbeat, and she's trying it. And, oh, by the way, so are her friends. So they get it, management does, but I think the important thing especially is that they're spending to take care of both you and my daughter. They have a broader generational reach with that brand, and they have a little bit higher income level consumer. They're not advertising to the poor and the huddled masses. They're advertising a consumer with a little bit higher household income who's looking for a better quality experience. And, they're not as concerned about, the competition.
But what's the next leg up? I remember, I guess we're all, Melissa, Tyler, and I, we've been doing this way too long. I remember a number of years ago when everybody said booze was actually going to be the next big boost for Starbucks. I mean, where do they stand with converting it from a sort of a coffee and now light food shop to maybe a full-service place?
Well, for example, the roasteries, excuse me, that the company is testing are clearly a much higher quality experience, a much broader food and drink experience. Some of those roasteries, I think, are, toying with, wine and different liqueurs. So I think there's clearly an evolution.
I thought they already had that in some location. Maybe I'm mistaken there.
Well, we do. In Chicago, I think I saw that. There was some wine or booze.
There is some of those in some of the stores, and that will be a very select number of the restaurants, reserved locations, in which, by the way, you need to have a liquor license in order to sell those. So it's not going to work in every locale.
Bob, the average check on the roastery, I think, is what, $20 versus $5 in the regular store? So that's the check. What's the margin on that check? I would imagine it's much higher, no?
I would expect it to be materially higher, especially if you can bring in more beverage, especially, some wine, alcohol. Food margins on those things they're terrific.
Bob, great to see you. Bob Derrington,
thanks.
Telsey Advisory.
Get buzzed and then unbuzzed.
Oh, by the way, here we have a shot of the unicorn Frappuccino.
Oh, can we bring that up? There it is.
Look at that, man.
Tyler, you want one of those?
Can someone get me one of those? That looks good.
I told you, Fruity Pebbles and coffee had a baby, and there you go. All right.